So these new buildings have not been approved by the historic board.
The design has been approved.
What about the materials of the use of the outside materials?
That's typically part of the application process.
That was part of the application process.
So
there was a lot of debate about
So
that.
you've approved vinyl siding on those then?
It was a disputed vote, and
It was not a disputed vote.
It passed or didn't
It
pass?
passed.
no, it was not a unanimous vote.
It was not
passed.
unanimous.
It was not unanimous.
Okay,
It did
so
pass.
they approved vinyl siding on those, but won't approve vinyl siding on houses. Is that right? And I know we're not here to attack, but I went by the one that's been built down there, and my mouth fell open. It's vinyl siding, cheap. The doors don't remind me of carriage doors at all. They remind me of cheap garage doors, and I was just really shocked, I guess.
I was really shocked too, and that's all I can say on that. And I'm not here to defend that vote.
Right, but I just.
But no, thank you for pointing that out. I think you're right to point that out.
The pole barn that Carl was talking about was built last year. It wasn't 50 years ago. He's a friend of mine, and it's a good looking, but it's a pole barn on Main Street.
But did they get approval for that?
Yes, they did.
Through zoning?
Yes. No. Didn't have to have one through zoning. Got it through.
Why not?
Historic.
Because it was for his own use. And we're looking at for profit. Right. That's the difference. Okay. Daryl, I understand what you're saying. And you've sat on the Zoning Board of Appeals. I feel like by doing that, you're passing the buck. You don't know who's going to be on the Zoning Board of Appeals in the future. And if you think back when I sat on it starting, I think in 2008, we were pretty much a yes, 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 anything you want to do, you can do. We have changed. The board has evolved. And now we're more comfortable looking at our conditional use worksheet and the 9 things that we have to do. And by law, if we vote no for any of these, we have to turn it down. I feel like we're passing the buck to another committee that's going to then have to sit and hear application after application, because you can bet, I grew up here and I've come back here, but you can bet we're going to hear you let him do it, so we want to do it. And I think we need to make the hard decision about what we're going to do and be done with it.
My garages will look a lot better than. And Carolyn, I really take exception to your comment about cheap.
I wasn't the only one that thought that.
Well, then let him come talk to me, because I've never heard that comment about those. And quite frankly, we've heard nothing but compliments. And
I had expected much better.
Excuse me. I'm talking. Will you let me finish, please? I appreciate it. You've had your chance. Let me have mine.
My name is Linda Pittman, and I'm sitting here and I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm just very offended by it, because my husband and I put a lot of work in that area down there. We put a lot of money. It was a burnt-out modular unit that they were making meth in. Nobody wanted this area. Nobody cared about these properties down here. I have put a lot of my own. I work on these properties. I work in these yards, and for you to say that it looks trashy or whatever.
I didn't say that.
Well, what did you say?
I said the vinyl siding looks cheap.
You said it looked cheap.
For the historic residential area.
How do you think those mobile homes looked down there? That we had to live.
They are gone now,
yeah,
at
whose expense?
When we approved the new zoning.
Is it? I just don't understand that a board member.
You don't want to hear.
I don't. Because I don't understand that a board member could sit up there and say that, and it's being picked up on that television, and it's going to go throughout this city.
I'm not the only one that thinks that. I was brave enough to say it. And for the historic board to approve vinyl siding,
but they did. They did.
Let's
don't argue this situation.
Let me finish now. when they won't allow it on people's residential homes is unbelievable to me. So that's my opinion.